Of Johannesburg is expected to mark the one-year anniversary since the Bank of Lisbon Building fire. Our reporter Malungelo Booi joins us live now from Johannesburg. A very good morning to you, Malungelo, and thank you so much for joining us. I mean, just earlier on I was saying to you that the scenes behind you trigger a lot of emotions for people who witnessed what took place there exactly a year ago today. Maybe let's start by you taking us back to what happened on that very day.
Exactly, Lindy. In fact, it was on this day when this building caught fire, and that fire, we're told, started in one of the top floors. Bear in mind, this is a 23-story building. Well, Lindy, a lot of employees in this building. I know for a fact that it housed employees from the health department and as well as the Department of Human Settlements at the time were evacuated. But 3 firefighters who had been called to assist to put out the blaze. While they're doing their job, really, they lost their lives. Well, Khathutshelo, Meudi and Mduduzi, Ndlovu were 2 firefighters who died inside this building, whereas Simphiwe Moropane, well, fell to his death while putting out that fire. Well, today, those that used to work in this building, well, will commemorate one of the tragic incidents really that befell this city last year. They'll also be honoring those firefighters who lost their lives. We're expecting, well, the MEC for Health here in Gauteng to also lay wreaths here, and we're also expecting the families, Lindy, of those 3 firefighters who perished in this incident last year to also be here in this event today.
And I mean, Malu, when it comes to this particular story, one of the concerns that were raised is the lack of equipment and support that the firefighters had to even attend to that very situation. And we're seeing now with the looting and unrest that's taking place in Johannesburg, firefighters being called out once again to put out fires. What's been said about how our firefighters have been equipped? Has that changed now?
In fact, Lindy, you're raising a very important point that was raised so many times last year when this building caught fire. In fact, some of the firefighters that we're talking to at the time had actually said that really the equipment that they were made to use was actually not suitable for the blaze at the time. In fact, there was also an admission by officials from the City of Johannesburg that some of the fire engines that they had to deal with this fire were actually not prepared to. They did not have the ladders that would actually go as far up to the top of this building to put out this blaze. In fact, we understand at the time, one of the things that officials were saying that their fire engines were only able to put out blaze, that their ladders would actually stand up to the 5th floor. They can't exceed that. But also there were a lot of commitments at the time, Lindy, that were made by officials. In fact, at the time, the mayor of Johannesburg had promised that they were going to make sure that more fire engines were actually in place in some of the fire stations. In fact, at the time, one of the things that had come out was that there were only about 14 fire engines for the 30 fire stations in Johannesburg. And also, that was one of the major concerns that was raised by some of the firefighters. But let's go back again, Lindy, to what the unions of the employees that were working at this building at the time were saying to us. They were saying that they had, in fact, raised concerns that some of the building, in particular this building, they've raised concerns as early as 2014 that this building was a death trap and that something had to be done. But they said at the time to us that authorities had really done nothing to sort out the problem, and hence there was that disaster. In fact, they'd gone as far as to say that the disaster we saw last year could have been prevented had authorities acted.
Well, thank you for that. Our reporter, Malungelo Booi, he's stationed at the Bank of Lisbon Building today as the 3 firefighters who died during that fire exactly a year ago today will be honored. And